from. Welcome to Essential Rules of Recruitment and Search Business Owners we help use to consistently attract clients on LinkedIn. Again, if you're tuning in live, just let us know if everything's working properly. Just give us a right live in the comments, give us a like, help us with the algorithms, let us know it's all working. And if you're watching the replay, just write the word replay as well so we know where you're tuning in from. But we're going to be talking about essential rules the recruitment and search business owners we help use to consistently attract clients on LinkedIn. Terry, you're right to say hello just for a quick.
Yeah. Hi, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And thank you very much for joining us. And just a quick reminder, we're here every week at the same time. And our sole aim is to help you grow your business. Every week we're here, we're going to show you with tools, techniques, strategies that guarantee to grow your business. So if you've enjoyed this, please tell all your friends and get your friends and colleagues to come and join us as well. So thanks for joining us today.
Awesome. Get started in just a few seconds. Essential rules the recruitment and search business owners we help use to consistently attract clients on LinkedIn. We are live in the Make More Placements community on Facebook. So again, if you're watching there live, give us a live in the comments or write the word replay if you're watching the recording. If you're listening to this anywhere else, so either on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever, make sure you come over and join the group. And if you're not listening on there, make sure you subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss an episode. And as Terry said, we come every week with a small micro training on a particular area of client attraction or business growth for recruitment and search business owners. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about the essential rules the recruitment and search business owners we help use to consistently attract clients on LinkedIn. So yeah, I think again we were speaking this week, and we have a program called Apex Mastermind where we work with the founders and owners of recruitment and search businesses. And this theme's all about, been about LinkedIn and, how to build a presence on LinkedIn, how to attract clients on LinkedIn, essentially how to effectively generate more client meetings or sales opportunities using LinkedIn. And quite a few of our clients are getting some really good results with the trainings that we've been going through this month. I think, on the top side, best of our clients, generating 30 to 40 sales meetings per month just by using LinkedIn. So we wanted to sort of share with you some of the, habits or rules that we've seen work for them. And these are, again, we're going to be giving you the sort of the bird's eye view. So we're not going to go into the intricate detail of how to use the platform or, what to say or what to send. And we want to give you the bird's eye view of the key habits, key formulas that they're using that's working for them and getting the results that they want in their business in terms of, appointment generation or generating opportunities. Terry, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, one of the things that we know with the recruitment and search business owners that we speak to on a daily basis, and we're speaking to search firm owners and recruitment business owners around the world, 5 days a week. We've got group sessions where we're talking to, a whole group of recruiters at the same time. And one of the biggest challenges that a lot of recruitment and search firm owners have isn't the actual service of the recruitment, it's around the sales and the marketing side. And majority of recruitment and search firms we speak to, one of the questions we ask them is, how many meetings do you have with interested hiring managers, new interested hiring managers who are in the market for what you do? And the number is anything between sort of 2 and 3 a month. Sometimes we get as high as 10 a month. Some of the techniques we're going to share with you now, and some of our clients are getting 30 to 40 meetings a month, every single month, consistently. And the question I want to ask you, what would it mean to you if you could get, let's keep it modest, if you could only get 25 meetings a month, every single month, with interested hiring managers who are in the market for what you do? The majority of clients that we talk to, that will transform the business, because all things remaining the same, if they just going to have more meetings, it means they're going to acquire more clients, which ultimately means they're going to increase their sales, which means for the business owner, they're going to earn more money, which is good news for them and for the family. So if that's something you're interested in, you'd like to have more meetings, increase your sales, and win more new business, stick around, because this is for you. Back to you, Drew.
Again, so yeah, just diving into the sort of the key habits or key rules. There's only 3 main things that they do, but I guess do on a consistent basis daily to make sure that it always gets done. I think, again, before we go into the rules, one thing I want to make clear is that this is only going to work for you if it's something you do consistently. I think we spoke about this last week, actually. One of the big mistakes or big, roadblocks, big things stopping you getting the results you want in your business isn't necessarily that you're doing the wrong things or isn't necessarily you're in the wrong market, or it's not about you doing anything wrong. It's just that you're not doing the right things on a consistent basis. So I think last week, Terry, you were using the analogy of going to the gym. You can go to the gym once and have a perfect workout. You're not going to get the results you want unless you're doing that every single day. And same with this as well. So I want to make clear that what we're going to go through is simple. Like, anyone can do it. It's just, I guess, the thing that separates them, or the ones that our clients get the best results from the rest of the market, is the consistency of it. How often are they doing it? How frequently are they doing it? So quickly run through. There's only 3 sort of core habits that you need to have. I'm gonna run through them quickly now, and then go through each one in more detail. But number 1 is plant. So number 1 is plant. Number 2 is nurture, and number 3 is harvest. And if you do those 3 things on a consistent basis, day in, day out, on your LinkedIn platform, you will attract clients with LinkedIn, or better yet, you will book sales meetings via LinkedIn, and then obviously the sales meeting you use to win the client, right? So let's just dive into those in a bit more detail to give you the, I guess, definition of what it means. So when we say plant, what we're talking about is, simply building your audience, so building your audience on LinkedIn. As you know, on LinkedIn, all things being equal, the bigger your network is, the bigger the more connections, more people see your content, whatever you're putting out, the better results you're going to get, right? So I think rule number 1 is, how often are you growing your network? And growing your network, not with candidates, but with clients as well. And again, this is a rule that you can apply to not just LinkedIn, but any other marketing channel as well. It's something you need to consistently be doing. Every time you every time you win business, you've lost your best lead, right? So what are you doing to replenish that in the bottom end? How often are you reaching out and connecting with your ideal clients in your audience? Again, it's easy to do, anyone can do it, but it's more about how consistently are you with it? How consistently are you out there reaching out, connecting with potential clients? Is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, interesting. I was talking to a search firm owner in Australia this morning, but it was my morning. It was his evening, and one of the things he was saying is that he was frustrated because he talked about an excellent service he provides to his clients. And he's talking about the fact that when he gets an assignment, his fill rate is incredibly high. And he said, so I don't understand that. I really care for my clients, and I really care for my candidates, and I don't understand, because I care so much, why I haven't got more business. As I said to him, Ian, his name is, Ian, it doesn't matter how good or bad a job you do. If your potential clients don't know who you are, it counts for nothing. You can be the best recruiter in the world. And this whole thing that we're talking about here about planting and growing your network, this is growing your network with potential clients, because you could be the best recruiter in the world. You could have the best database. You could have the most excellent service in terms of what your hiring managers are looking for. But you stand absolutely no chance whatsoever if those hiring managers, those decision makers, have never ever heard of you and don't know who you are. And one of the beauties of growing your network, you're starting the relationship with a potential client. You're not selling them anything. You're just going to start the relationship. But all sales and marketing starts with, starting the relationship with a stranger, turn them into a friend, and then ultimately into a client. And this is just the first stage of just starting that relationship. So just grow your connections with potential clients on LinkedIn. And think about this. There's no cost and no risk. The worst that can happen to you when you do this is that some of those will ignore you. You'll request to connect with some people and they'll go, no, thanks. Well, you think they've ignored you. In my opinion, the majority of them haven't even seen the message that you requested to connect with them. That's the worst that can happen. But like anything else, and Drew talks about this consistency. If you're doing that consistently, you'll grow your network. Sure, there'll be some days when nobody connects with you, but there's other days. If you're doing this 5 days a week, there'll be some days when people are connecting with you, and you're growing your network with potential clients. So as Drew said, the stage 1 is the plan. Grow your network with potential clients consistently.
Yeah, and I guess just on that, like, again, it's really simple. I'm not trying to make out it's not simple, but the question you need to be asking yourself and your consultants, if you have a team, is what ratio are you using your invites? Because again, these are limited, right? How many invites we can send out? What ratio are you using it to connect with candidates versus connect with clients, right? If there's more sway to candidates, again, we're not going to win as many clients and vice versa, right? So you need to think about that. And I think, just on that, if you hear me and Terry speak about marketing, or you heard us talk about sales and recruitment, and not just unique to recruitment in general. One of the most simplistic ways of really putting it, what is the job of marketing, or what is the role of marketing? And it really is to, if we want to make a sale, if we want to get take a prospect and get them to hand over a fee, thousands in recruitment fees, we need to find someone with a need and get them to know, like, and trust you, right? So part of the big problem a lot of recruiters have is that yes, there's prospects that have a need, but they don't know you exist, right? So part of that plan is get them to know you exist. The next question we need to ask is, how do we get them to like and trust us, right? So the need part we can't really control. We have no influence on that. We can't create a need in recruitment, right? People either have a need for our services or they don't, right? So we can't create that. So we don't work on controlling that. We can control whether they know that we exist. That's where the plan element comes in. And then we can control how they view us. So do they like and trust us? And that's where nurture comes in. And I think this is probably one of the biggest things missing, because it's really easy to get a client to know you exist, but how do you build that trust, that have them like you, have them view you as an authority? If they don't view you as an authority, it's near impossible to get the fee you want. But even on the most basic levels, it's really difficult to even get them to have a conversation with you. Again, even if you've got the perfect solution for the problem they're having, if they don't view you as an authority, they're not even have a conversation with you. So that's where nurture comes in. Once we connect with a prospect or a potential client, what are we doing with that new connection to build that authority? And that's where nurture comes in. So, ultimately that comes with the content that you're putting out on LinkedIn. So that comes with the content you're putting out on LinkedIn. And again, what I've done on this, one of the biggest mistakes that I see recruitment and search business owners make is, again, one, it comes back down to consistency. So I think we're in a day and age now where everyone knows or understands the importance of having content, whether that's written content, or video content, audio. We know the importance of it now. Like, that's not in dispute anymore. But one of the big mistakes is people do it ad hoc. So they, when a thought comes into their mind, they put some content out, or when something relevant happens, they put some content out. Again, this needs to be consistent on a regular basis if we want it to actually have the impact we want. So number one is consistency. Two is about the type of content. It's about the type of content. So again, another big mistake that you can make is, rather than trying to motivate the prospect, which in my view was what we should be doing, motivate the prospect to reach out to you, or motivate them to, recognize what their challenge is, or highlight what the challenge is. We go for the likes. We post content that is there to get likes and engagement. And often that's how we measure good content. How many likes do they get? How many comments do they get? And if we didn't get enough, then we see it as bad content. Good content isn't about likes and engagement. And this is not me saying likes and engagement aren't important. They are, right? And they have their benefits, but that shouldn't be the primary focus. The primary focus should be to move a prospect from point A to B, to motivate them from point A to B, right? So they go from knowing who we are, but not viewing us just as an authority. But good content moves them down that line where they now view us as a higher authority in their mind. Terry, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, just a couple of things there about the content. A lot of recruiters then say, well, Terry, I'm posting every day. I post all our job ads on my profile every day. And I hear that, but you need to acknowledge that if you're posting a job, the majority of people that you're connected to have zero interest in that. So your content's got to be of interest. And if you're, as we're saying, growing your connections with the decision maker, with the hiring manager rather than the candidate, posting the jobs is totally relevant to them. So you've got to be posting content that's of relevance to your market. And the other advantage of posting content on a regular basis, it helps position you as the authority in your niche. It helps position you as a go-to recruiter. And there's nothing better when you're seen as a go-to recruiter, because a couple of things happen there. First of all, if you're seen as the authority or the go-to recruiter in your market, there's less resistance to your fee, because the hiring managers, it's now the perception of you is you're the expert. And if you're the expert, you get less pushback on your fee. Added to which, if you're seen as the authority or the go-to recruiter, they're more likely to accept what you say, because this recruiter, this search firm is the authority in this field. So you get less pushback if you say, hey, listen, you know what, the salary that you're offering on this particular role, probably isn't going to attract the right sort of candidates. And we've all been there as recruiters when you sometimes have that conversation with a hiring manager and they kind of dismiss what you say and say, well, that's what we're offering. You're thinking, you know, I'm never going to find this candidate because you're way off the market rate. That doesn't happen when you're seen as a go-to, when you're seen as an expert. So if you go to the doctor, and the doctor tells you to take these tablets, because you view the doctor as an authority, you don't check out whether the doctor first of all is qualified to do that and make that prescription, or you know, you don't think I'm not going to take these tablets because you know I don't know what's in them or whatever. You tend to trust your doctor because they're the authority. They're perceived as knowing what they're talking about, and it works in business as well. I think the point you made there about likes is so important, and it's something we personally as coaches and mentors, we get sometimes with our clients where they say, I put this post out there, but I didn't get many likes, and we have to constantly remind that it's not about getting likes. And you also need to remember as well, if you say something, if you post something, one of my clients posted the other day about, you know, the 80-20 rule, the percentage of your workforce are probably underperforming. So if you post something like that, it can be difficult for other hiring managers to agree with you and like that, because they acknowledge, think about it, if the CEO of another organization agrees with that or engages in that conversation, his team are now thinking, well, is this CEO talking about me and our team? So you need to be aware sometimes that it's not always practical to comment on other people, other people's posts. Yeah, I just want to go back to something else we said, because somebody said, you know, so we talked earlier about plants. I'm just kind of going back a bit here, Drew. And we said connect with the hiring managers rather than the candidates. And a few people have said, well, hang on a minute, Terry, we've got a shortage of candidates, and that's our problem. And that's why we're connecting with them. And I hear what you're saying, but ultimately, if you want to work exclusively with a client, if you want to work retained with the client, you need to get a hiring manager to engage with you rather than the candidate. Now, you can use one method, you can use candidates to get in front of the client, but often when you do that, you position yourself as something that doesn't work exclusively. So that's why we encourage you to start your relationships with the hiring managers who are going to sign off on the check for the work that you do for you, rather than the candidate. Hope that makes sense, Drew. Just clarifying that a bit earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. So we've got plant again. All these things work, you know, we've got plant, you know, plant and seed. We've got nurture, and then lastly we've got harvest. Right, harvest. That is really all about, you know, once we've built our audience, or we're building our audience consistently, we're consistently building authority with that audience. How are we going to harvest those opportunities? So, you know, at any given time, there are a percentage, you know, depending on what market you're in, that's 5%, 10%, you know, we don't know, right? There's a percentage of people in your market right now who are in the position to buy, right? At any given time, that's always going to happen. Again, like I said right at the start, we can't control, you know, demand in recruitment. We can't control whether that demand's higher or lower, but we can make sure that we're the first person they think of when that demand arises, right? So if you have, let's say there's 1,000 people, 1,000 potential clients in your network, and then at any given time, we've got 5% of them who are positioned to buy. And then the question is then, like, how do we identify or find that 5%, so we can effectively, you know, book sales meeting with them? That's what the harvest is all about. What are we doing to identify the, you know, what we call now buyers, or the people who are positioned to buy? And this is where I think a lot of people go wrong. Again, I think it's easy to, you know, invite your potential clients to connect. It's easy to post content, you know, see a lot of people doing that. I think one of the missing links to this, is the harvest element. And I think one of the reasons why people get confused or they're not sure about this is because it sort of goes unseen, because it happens in, you know, for the most part, it happens in the messenger element, right? So, you know, everything else public, we post content, you know, everyone can see it. Where the transformation happens from just a prospect on your LinkedIn to an appointment in your calendar is via the messenger, via the inbox, right? So again, a question for you to ask yourself is, like, how many new conversations are you starting per day with your ideal clients via LinkedIn, and how often are you offering people to get on the phone, right? So the job of marketing is to get people into your sales process. If you're like most recruitment research business owners we work with, or most in the, you know, industry as a whole, your sales process is going to involve some form of meeting or phone call, telephone meeting, whatever, Zoom nowadays as well, where we're pitching our services, right? So the goal of LinkedIn really should be, how do I get them, how do I find these people on LinkedIn, build a relationship with them or build authority with them, and then get them into my sales process, which is a meeting. And that, again, for the most part, doesn't happen with content, doesn't happen with you connect. It happens in the messenger element, right? So again, one thing we need to make sure that we're doing is, every day, again, look at your last 7 days and have you included each 3 of these essential rules or habits in each of the days. So you've connected with ideal clients, you've posted content that's going to motivate them or help you as an authority. And that needs to be as well your own content, your own voice, your own opinions, not you sharing an industry news article, not you sharing someone else's content. It needs to be your own voice, your own opinion. And then how often over the last 7 days have you invited someone to get on the phone with you? If you're not doing those 3 things consistently, then that's where you're missing opportunities. And our clients who are able to get 30 to 40 meetings per month are the ones who do this on a regular and consistent basis. Again, just for those of you who are interested, we recorded a case study just last month, earlier this month actually, of one of our clients who is doing this that process and is booking 40 meetings per month with potential clients. If you'd like that case study, again, we'll send you the recording. Just put case study in the comments if you're in our Facebook group, and then we'll drop that into your inbox. So just put case study in the comments and we'll send you that recording of that video. But yeah, this is effectively how they're able to do it: plant, nurture, and harvest. Terry, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, one of the beauties of the harvest. Have you ever called a hiring manager that you've never spoken to before, and you introduce yourself, your name, and the name of your organization, and the hiring manager goes, "Yeah, I know who you guys are," and it makes a whole process so much easier when the hiring manager's saying that. Well, the reason that often they're saying that is because of the consistent work that you've been doing on LinkedIn. Think about it. If you've got, I don't know, 10,000, 5,000 connections on LinkedIn, and every week, 3 times a week, you're posting content in there, a large percentage of your target audience are getting to see exactly, get to see your post rather. You then call them or send them a message and suggest having a conversation. There's so much less resistance on their part, because it's not now engaging with a total stranger. They're engaging with somebody that they know. They're engaging with somebody that they perceive as an expert, an authority, or as a go-to recruiter. So it makes the whole thing so much easier. So not only will you have more conversations with interested hiring managers who are in the market for what you do, you'll also have better quality conversations with hiring managers. And think about it, what would it mean to you if you're having, 20, 30 conversations every month with hiring managers? When you give your name and you give the name of your company, the CEO, she says, "Yeah, I know exactly who you are." Think how much easier it would be for you and your team if you could have those kind of conversations. As Drew said, we did a actual recording on this a couple of weeks ago. So if you want the recording of how some of our clients are doing that, what it is, it's an interview where he talks to their exact process, how he gets between 40 and 50 meetings a month, every single month. And by the way, he's not even picking up the phone. Just by using LinkedIn and doing a couple of things, he gets 40 to 50 meetings a month, every month on a consistent basis. So if you want a copy of that, let us know. Again, thank you very much for joining us today. Really enjoyed that, Drew. As always, really enjoy your input. Just to remind you, we're here every Wednesday at 1500 UK time. And our sole aim is to help you grow your business. Our sole aim is to help you find the right clients, make more money, make more placements, and enjoy everything that you're doing when it comes to growing your business with fewer headaches. If that's something that you want to do, come and join us every Wednesday at 1500 in this Facebook Live, and we'll share with you some of the things that you can be doing to do that. So until next time, folks, take care, take action, and be relentless. Cheers, folks.